All right. So I want to go over, how we did yesterday, what our trades were, what I was looking at, etc. So, this pre-market trade, this was posted in the in our community for the basically trade ideas, trade updates section for a possible early entry for longs. This was based on the break and retest of my order block down here. All right, I see this order block confirmation down here. Do you guys see this big volume spike down here? Large volume spike on the bounce of the order block. That is what signified to me, hey, I more than likely want to take this trade. This is something I want to be watching for. Let me watch to see if it can confirm above 25,100. So get a strong candle close above 25,100. This confirms the trade. Um, and then on top of that, I also wrote out, hey, if this can confirm above the daily level, which is 25,115, if we can confirm above this, we should also be set. It could be separate entry criteria almost. And you can see it's a beautiful trade from there. So for this pre-market trade for the rest of this day and going into the overnight session, you can just assume if you stayed in this trade, you were golden. It never came even close to your entry. The furthest this would have gone in drawdown would have been 80 points profit. All right, so we have the market open session. I'm telling the students how we essentially could be taking a breakout right out the open. What I wanted for a breakout level was I wanted to use 25,208. That's what I wanted for a breakout level. We opened above it. Now it started to get tricky because as we come back down here below it, right, I see the same thing. All right, I'm trying to do that bounce of the order block that I saw here, right? So I'm trying to take a bounce of this order block. Price bounces. So it comes here, bounces. I'm entering on this candle here on the pushback up. It confirms at 208. I'm like, great, I'm in the trade. Let's go. Stops me out. Take a loss there. Totally okay. Why? Because my original thesis is still in play. Bounce of the order block in order to validate longs with my entry above 208, or we break below the order block with my entry at 25,155. This would have been my entry for puts. So obviously we never got there. So as we start to push the upside, I call out longs around 25,226. I say, hey, if we make a new high, if we break out of 25,237, I want to take a breakout for longs. Happens extremely fast. We get a beautiful trade here. I even mentioned everybody, hey, you can still look for a retest if you would like. The retest of the level is what you'd want to see. And when I was in this trade personally, when this started to push back here to the downside, beautiful thing was our contracts were still 20% profit when we came all the way down here. Why? Just because of how the option Greeks worked. The theta decay did not ruin those contracts whatsoever. They moved into profit so fast, they gained a lot of premium value. Obviously, a lot of buyers picked it up as well, so that increased the premium value. So we were able to stay in this trade with ease. It never even came back close to my entry and anyone else that was trading options. And then for futures, I just reassured people this is still good. We're still in the trade. Just let it rock, right? And sure enough, as you can see, just a beautiful continuation move. Moves absolutely wonderfully to the upside here. This ended up being a 320-point trade at the close. All right, 410% profit on QQQ, which shows the importance of letting a runner run. Okay. Um, Something else I want you to take note of, because this was a relatively low volume day, is on this trade itself. I want you to notice how volume is pretty low, right? There's no like absurdly high volume. However, what can we see, even when there's low volume, what can we see that's pretty darn obvious? Respecting my order block. My order block is being respected. Okay, if my order block is being respected, and then we see a complete re-engulfment of the previous two candles, followed by decent volume. By decent volume, I mean that the volume on this candle is higher than the volume on the previous two candles. That's a real trade. That's a real move. If this candle's volume was still just as low as those two candles' volume, and it was a previous re-engulfment, I would watch for a rejection of the high of day. So I would have been watching for a rejection at 25,237, but it was the opposite. The volume flipped, right? And you started seeing more buyers coming in on the tape, more buyers coming in on the ask on order book level 2, which means I can actually see where buyers and sellers are present. It gives me a very clear picture most of the time. But on a day like this where there's low volume, that's a nice confirmation for me. So that's why we were able to take this entry. We had a double confirmation. We had a bounce of the order block again, and then we had that volume flip reversal into the high of day. And then in the trade ideas update section, I just updated how if you were trading contracts, you could swing into the next day, like you weren't trading 0DTE, or if you had the ability to swing your own contracts, you could hold these overnight. I said it would more than likely move. Technical analysis was showing it's strong and it's going to keep moving. And sure enough, as you can see here, we hit a peak of 486 points profit. All right, wonderful. Our last PT was 435 points profit at the 4-hour key level, and We're targeting this next one on the swing currently. So really, really good to see this out. This might be the beginning of a very, very large swing trade. It already is large, but I mean like a complete recovery to obviously pending the news with Iran. So I'd love to see this play out. And if someone was still holding from the pre-market, which they very well could be, you're sitting at about 606 points profit. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So love to see this play out. I'm hoping the rest of the week can perform, kind of maintaining an uptrend like this. So, but all my entries, guys, they're based on order book level 2, time and sales, volume footprint chart, pretty much every single thing. I use the underlying volume of the specific asset to determine my entries in combination with my key levels and my order blocks. That's what helps give me the best edge. That's why I have such a high win rate. All right. And that's also how I can have conviction to take these trades. You know, you'll have some students that didn't take my breakouts mainly just because there was a stop loss. They'll see one stop loss and they will let that fear hold them back. And I just sit there and go, you have no idea how much this will debilitate you in the future if you allow one stop loss to A, discourage you, or B, prevent you from taking your second trade. Trading is not the profession for you. It will be impossible. You will never be a day trader. I can tell you right now. If you cannot handle a loss, you will never, ever, ever, ever become wealthy day trading. I can say that with almost a 95% certainty. You have to be a good loser. If you're not, a great book, Best Loser Wins. Read that book. It would help you tremendously. You need to be okay with it. You got to be okay with it. A lot of you guys that are really successful entrepreneurs struggle with this just because you've been right so many times. That's why you're a successful entrepreneur. You got to be okay with taking losses with trading. You got to remember there are successful day traders out there with 50% win rates. All right. You don't have to have a 95% win rate like I do. You just don't. Okay. You can literally have a 60% win rate and still be profitable. The important part is your winners are bigger than your losers. James, how do I get that? Let's erase this whole move. Let's say you were not in this with me. You did not realize 320 points or 410% profit. Okay. Let's say you don't have the patience for it. Let's say what you realized was the true peak of the move up here. This is where I said majority exit. So if someone had 100 contracts, this is where they would have sold 90, right? If they had 1,000, this is where they would have sold 900 contracts. Even this move with a 100% profit on QQQ, okay? Net ROI at this point in time, net ROI was sitting at about 65% profit. So if I took a 20% hit down here and my net ROI at this point is 65%, that is like a 3.3 risk to reward ratio. In what world would I be red on this particular day? Not even taking the pre-market trade. We also had Apple. We had Apple for 85%, and there was an NVIDIA trade for 280%. So forgetting about those and just assuming worst case scenario, you skip the pre-market trade. This is the only trade you took was a loss. This trade alone is a 3-to-1 R that would recover your loss times 2. So come on, guys. All right, you would have lost $200 down here. You would have made $650 up here. You'd be up $450 on the day. If that's not how your day played out and you took that loss, that means your trade management is severely, severely off. You are on the path to failure, which is okay. The first part is recognizing there's a problem, and then the second part is solving that problem, okay? Solving that problem, the ways we can do that, work on that trade management. Look at my YouTube video on trade management. If you don't vibe with that, if you're like, that makes me feel too anxious, James, I'm not a big fan of that. Do set and forget. 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio when you get a little more comfortable. All right, I'm going to enter with a 20-point stop loss, a 40-point take profit, hands off the mouse, just let the trade play out. As long as I don't see a sign that's telling me this trade is going to reverse, there's nothing telling me the trade is going to absolutely dump, I stay in the trade. A little bit of a pullback, not a problem. Do I expect it to rocket to 40 points in profit? No, I don't. I expect there to be some fight on the way up. The whole point is my trade stays valid. And technically, if I walked away and came back within 20 minutes, I would have hit the PT. That's the idea. All right. But yeah, you got to keep the head high. You got to make sure you're journaling this stuff, tracking your statistics, seeing how you're doing, seeing where you're going wrong, things like that. All right. All right, guys. Wonderful trade review. 1% better. Boom. Out of the camera. Every single day. You guys have a great one. All right. I'll see you in the next one.